So the Heat couldn't tie the series at home, and at this point, it is to be expected. There really isn't too much to break down. There isn't too much to talk about. It's the same thing in each game. Since game one, it's basically been the same game over and over again. Exactly how they start, how they get beat, how and when. It's been the same thing. It's with them shooting poorly. It's them still missing Jimmy Butler, still missing Terry Rozier, and it's the Celtics playing normal. I don't think they've played their best game. Tatum has been struggling. Their shooting hasn't been historic. Their offense hasn't been historic either. In two of the games, their offensive rating was below 110. So it's not like the Celtics are having great games either. But it's just with the Heat missing their players, there's not much you can do. So for today, before Game 5, I'll be going through some of the clips that stood out in Game 4, some of the offense, particularly from Tyler, some of the looks that they were getting, and how Derrick White cooked. So let's just start with the worst thing, and that's Derrick White cooking the Miami Heat. As you can see, he finished with 38 points on 15 for 26 shooting, 8 threes out of 15, and that was basically him. The whole offense was him. Yeah, Jason Tatum with 20 points on 35% shooting. No one else really comes close with efficiency or any kind of scoring. It was basically Derrick White carrying the whole offense. And that's basically been Derrick White's career in the playoffs. As you can see here, this is just his playoff career sorted by game score. Out of 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are Heat. So half of his top 10 games in the playoffs are Heat. If you go down for his top 15 games, same thing. 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of his 15 games are against the Heat. He just doesn't like them. And he's just been cooking them every single time. And last game was the reason he won. The Celtics won. In the first half, he scored 22 points out of the 53. He had 6 out of the 9 threes. So let's just go see how exactly he cooked the Heat. Because most of it was just poor offense. It wasn't him doing anything spectacular, whether it's just off the dribble game, whether it's him attacking the pick and roll. It was just poor defense, poor closeouts, and he just got comfortable where he was just making every single free. Starting off with his first one, you can see here Hero's already helping off a bit, looking to be around the paint area. White just gets a quick free, late contest, open free. Here, lazy effort again, just allows him to get an offensive rebound, goes for an open look. The Heat zone, that's been their MO for a whole season, but against the Celtics, it just results in these kind of looks. Can't create off the dribble. Now Brown gets the defense, and White gets a wide open free. Here, this was again just bad defense. This is Hayward in transition, not picking him up early, attacks him, just goes right to the rim. Again, here is going to be an open free. Defense going under for some reason. Not even I don't mean under, it was like not even contesting it. No one knows that someone should pick him up. Then you have here as well. Bam picks him up late. Not even arms up before, and he gets a wide open look. This is just a Derrick White shot against the Heat. Late clock, DeLon's on him. Then Duncan switches to contest. It doesn't matter. It just still goes in. And the same thing here. Just late closeouts. No hands in the air. Letting him go into his motion without any resistance at all. And that's basically how he cooked them in the first half. It wasn't him. I'd be less shocked, less annoyed if it was Tatum hitting tough shots. If it was him just getting to the rim. If it was Brown just abusing Hero or someone to get into the rim, that would have been different instead of just having White exploit the defense because it was just poor defense. They could have pressed more. They could have just taken that shot away from him. They could have contested better, but nope. He just got open looks after open looks. And if you give up open looks to good shooters, they will make you pay, as the Heat did that against the Celtics. But that was the worst thing about this game. So let's just go through some of the offensive stuff, which did show some kind of promise. So again, offensively, it's the same thing. Defense stepped up. The defense was pressuring them again. They were trying to take away the threes, limit the shot attempts, and don't send help again on hero pick and rolls. It's the same thing as what happened in Game 3, and the Heat haven't been able to punish that. So it's literally the same offense as it was in the previous game. That's why they only scored 88 points. But I still like some of the reads, some of the pick and rolls from Hero, particularly in the first half. There were some really good looks. Starting off the first possession on offense, it was a Hero off ball, comes off this first screen. That is able to get him downhill, draws the defense. Great Jovic relocation, gets a wide open 3. Here's a Bam pick and roll, Hero Bam pick and roll, and then you can see again the adjustment from the Celtics with not sending enough help. He's coming off the screen here. Tatum's not looking to help as much. Before, that was an easy kick to Caleb and he gets a wide open 3. This is what I liked about Hero from this game. He's a Caleb pick and roll, and he just bursts, goes right to the rim. This is what's needed. If the Celtics are not sending that much help, those kind of bursts off the dribble where he can just easily take his guy and get to the rim, get to the paint, just draw that defense, force the defense to help, instead of having a half-assed drive where the defense doesn't have to help. It just could show help. But if you're driving that fast, then that forces the defense to do something. Same here's another pick and roll. Now they show help, and when they show help, it's an easy kick. Look, Caleb gets the 3. They just haven't been making their shots. Here's another pick and roll that gets the Hero back right to the rim. That's another burst that was needed. And he still makes all the right reads whenever there was one. Here's a pick and pop. Love gets a wide open 3, just can't make it. Here, it gets Horford on the ISO, attacks him, gets to the paint for the floater. Again, those are really good looks. So look here with Jaime, just backs him down, backs Bridger down, gets the wide open look. Then doesn't take the shot. Then now Jaime gets it on the cut. So they were able to generate good offense, get good looks. Here's another pick and roll. Takes Drew off the dribble, forces help, and wide open lob as a result of it. Defense now sends help. It's an open JJ 3. And then you get also plays like this off ball, where he's able to just get wide open looks. They just haven't been not going down. And that's the whole issue with the Heat on offense. And that's been a thing for game 3, and now game 4. And if they don't adjust in game 5, whether it's just making shots, that will be the series end. And something that popped out is with their 3-point rate. In game 1, it was 45%. In game 2, their best game was 57%, where they shot 53 from there. Then it was 36, and that was 38. So the Celtics adjusted well by taking the threes away, and the Heat haven't been able to adjust. They just haven't been able to generate easy looks. Bam's isolations are not enough to draw the defense. Hero's pick and rolls are not there consistently. So the offense will continue to struggle. And then you can see the 32%, 27%, 32% in game 1. That just can't happen. If that happens, then it's just game over for the Heat. Because I tweeted this out. The Celtics had a 67.7% true shooting in regular season. And against the Heat, it's 63, 56, 56, 40, 54. And those are the ranks that would have been there for the Celtics. It's in the bottom 10, 15, 20 games for the Celtics. But then the Heat have this. 55, 66, 51, 49. So the Heat do a good enough job to give themselves the opportunity to close the game out. They just don't have enough firepower. And that's really what comes down to in game 5. So for game 5, there isn't much to look forward to. Hopefully they can just get hot again. It's in Boston. We know how they play in Boston. We know what Caleb's done in Boston. That game 7 probably still haunts Bill Simmons. So the only chance is for them to have a repeat of what happened in game 2. if they can make 40% from free, even if it's low attempts, that's good enough to give them a fighting chance for to push this to 6. If they can push it back to 6, get it back home, then that's a win for itself. If you're able to push the Celtics, who have been as dominant as they've been, to 6 games without your best player, without your starting point guard, with now no Jaime either, with a Duncan that's limited, there isn't much else you could ask for. This team just fought as hell and made it somewhat entertaining as well. You saw some flashes from Jovic. You saw the improvement on offense from Bam with self-creation. So let's just hope they make this a game and it's not a 20-30 point blowout in the second quarter.